Hello everyone and welcome to the RNG University. On tonight's episode, finally, Dominaria Remastered Remix. Alright, so I wonder how good, it didn't even cut. I wonder how good this set is. And from what I've noticed online, it seems like some of the prices of the cards are not as high as what I assumed they would be. Things like Sylvan Library, Force of Will, they're all in this set. And, you know, this is an amazing set. If you just look at the cards themselves, it looks very enticing. It's got a bunch of tutors. It's got one of the best counter spell, arguably in the whole set. It's finally have the green draw in Sylvan Library. That didn't happen for a long time. I think it was in one of the, the fake sets that you have to pay $50 for. But now, finally, we have it. Dominaria Remastered. This is one of the only second remaster set ever released. The last one was Time Spiral. And Time Spiral Remaster was actually on the Time Spiral block itself. Dominaria Remaster, however, there was no Dominaria block, right? There was a Dominaria set. There's a Dominaria... Reunited, whatever it's called recently. And then back in the days, we got the Urza sets. So all of that is part of Dominaria. We actually have so much history for Magic the Gathering in Dominaria that there's just so much cards to include. So that's why I'm going to open all of these boosters today. I will go a little bit slower than normal just because I want to see what these cards are. Some of these cards are absolutely beautiful. And the collector booster box, I hope, has the proper sort of... gravitas to it and a good... Oh, look at that. First, elephant. It's okay. On the back is a elemental. That's okay too. The tokens don't matter as much as... Look at this. Starfoil off the bat. Saporling Symbiosis. I just love the Starfoil. Takes me back to the Onslaught days. It's beautiful. Look at that. First a borderless Worldly Tutor. Search your library for a creature card. Reveal it. Put it on top. Awesome tutor. Back in the days, these tutors are so amazing. I'm going to put it here just so that her face does not mess up the camera focus. Then we have Arcanus Omnipotent. So this is just a regular retro. Then we have Foil Mystical Tutor. I remember when this card was like 40, $50 for a while. And then the reprints hit it, and now it's no longer that pricey. I'm going to try to, hog all of these because Mystical Tutor is an amazing card and commander. I mean, what kind of blue deck doesn't have instant sorcery that is the game-winning effects, right? So I'm going to put the tutors over there for a while. The Mogwar Marshal, it's a Starfoil, but it is just a common. So it's a good card. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is back in, I don't even remember what set this was from, back when I had Echo. But... it's just a common, so I'm going to put it on the side. Momentary Blink. Exile, or basically a blink. This is the blink effect that's named from, right? A momentary blink. And then it also has flashback to blink again. So that's pretty cool. Oh, and Peregrine Drake. This card is the crux of all infinite combos. Come into play, untap 5 lands. So if you have some sort of a blink effect... Well, if you can put that blink effect on a stick, it comes into play. You get mana back. You can use that blink effect again over and over and over. Amazing card. Foil Swamp. I don't even know how much these cards are worth, but it is beautiful. The Foil Swamp is very, very pretty. I'm going to put it on over here. And then we have Griffin Guide. This is basically nothing to me because it's not any treatment. It's nothing, fancy. And then we have, this is a split card back in the days. Assault Battery. Don't assault a battery because you'll get battery acid all over you. And then we got the Slippery Curse. This is just a cycle land, so I'm just going to go over there. Sentence Desire. Threshold. Cool effect. Ulvanize. Until the end of turn, target creature loses all ability and becomes a 0/1. Okay, and Fadea Seer, draw a card, reveal it. If it's a land card, if it isn't a land card, discard it. That's not that great. Oh, it's the last card. Empty the Warren. Does Storm make goblins? All right, so that's the first pack. We got some cool... I mean, I was a little bit disappointed when at the end, we kind of petered out. But I think that's how they orientate the booster. So they put all the hits up front. So on the hits, we got Arcanus, the retro. We got Sapling, the retro foil. And then we have the borderless and the regular foil in the 2 tutors. And the booster packs actually are easier to open than all the other booster packs this year, or last year, I should say. So that's pretty cool. All right, we got a zombie, and then we have sapling. That's gonna go over there. Oh, the retro foil woodland cemetery. I don't think this card ever came in retro foil, so that's pretty cool. All right, retro foil. I'm gonna put the retro foil and the retro rare separately so that I can look at them. Oh, it's just so nice. Look at that, borderless enlightened tutor. All the borderless cards have been tutors. I'm happy about that. And then a retro sapling symbiosis again. I don't want another one, but we did get another one. Royal assassin. Crazy card back in the days. Not anymore. And it's not in any treatment, so it's just going to go into the rare foil pile. And then we got Ovenice. Invigorating Bloom. White Mane Lion. None of these cards are too crazy. An Island. That's okay. That's cool. Tiana, Ship Caretaker. I don't even know how to pronounce that name. Tiana, whatever. This is not placed correctly. This is regular treatment. None of these cards are too crazy. Mindstone, though, it's not a awesome card, but I think it's run in almost every commander deck just because it's a 2-mana mana stone. That's always appreciated. Sandstorm, Drifting Meadow, and then Egg-Core Slick. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, it kind of peters out towards the commons, so I don't care too much about that. No mythic so far. That's 2 packs down, though, so hopefully our luck turns a bit. A zombie and a... Ooh, what is this? There's a cat. Can you see the cat? It's just all dark. I guess that's cool. Grim Lavamancer. Back in the days, this card was all the rage. Uh-oh, our first mythic. Look at that. Dark Depth. Mythic borderless. This card it used to be amazing with Vampire Hexmage. Remove all counters on it in one creature, and then you would just get a 20/20 indestructible flyer. That's sick. All right, and then we got Glory. I also remember Glory back in the days. Choose a color. Creatures you control gain protection of the color. Activate only if Glory is in your graveyard. This is from that cycle in, I think, Odyssey, where all the creatures in your graveyard has effects. Well, not all the creatures, but a cycle of creatures that has effects in your graveyard. All right, and then we have Vexing Sphinx. I remember this from like Cold Snap days. When it cognitive upkeep, you discard a card, and when it dies, you draw a card for each age counter on it. So you can find a way to put a bunch of age counter on it other than the cognitive upkeep, then you might be able to draw a bunch of cards from that. Thoran Golem, that's just now we're down to the regular cards. Wild Growth, though, that's a pretty cool card. Let's see. Mesa Enchantress, also very cool. Enchantress are always cool. People love enchantment decks. I don't know what I'm doing. I keep putting these in the wrong pile. And then we got a Swamp again, Sawtooth Loon, Decappool, Subterranean Scout, Drake. I don't know. These cards I don't think people care too much about. I'll make note of cards that people actually do care to pull in collector boosters. In regular draft boosters, a lot of these cards are actually pretty fun in a limited environment. But in collector booster boxes, because no one's drafting with these, it's not that impactful. Goblin, in the back, Griffin. All right, then we got a Crawlspace. No more than 2 creatures can attack you each combat. That's really cool in commander decks. You can use this instead of Ghostly Quarter, and you kind of force your opponent to only attack you with 1 creature if they want. This is a star foil. Oh, Mystic Remora. That's cool. Back in the days, this card used to be really sought after. And I mean, really sought after because everyone wants to run one in their blue deck. But the funny thing about that is it was never expensive. It was like $10 most. I don't know how much it is now, but this is a borderless rare, so that at least looks cool. And then we got Urza, Lore High Artificer, the reprint of reprints. Urza is just one of those commanders that you see people put down on a commander table and you just want to quit. You see that as a commander, you just think, man, this is one of those games. All right, well, at least retro. And then we have Pashalakin Mons. I don't even know what it does. Whenever Pashalakin Mons or another goblin you control dies, they deal 1 damage on any target. And you can pay 4 to sack a goblin, create 2 goblins. Hey, that's pretty cool. Goblin decks are always about goblin dying, so it's something. And then we got Goblin Matron. Now, that's a card that's actually sought after. Whenever Goblin Matron enters the battlefield, search your library for a Goblin card, reveal it, put it into your hand, basically a tutor. Common card. That's crazy. That's how fun it is to play in limited environment because you can get tutors in your common slots. All right, and then we got Alvanice, Spirit Link, Plains. Then we got the Thoran Golem again, Chainer's Edict, Werebear, Phantom Flock, Man of War, Cleric, and Impulse. Cleric of the forward order, and an Impulse. All right, that was 4 packs. We got 2 mythics, one of which, actually the mythics that we pull are good mythics. So I'm not too sad about that. I just want more because I'm greedy. All right, we got a zombie in the back, a cat. Oh, we got another mythic. This is the foil, star foil, retro border mythic. Unfortunately, maybe fortunately, it's a nut collector. He's cool. I mean, it's fun, you know. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 squirrel. And then if you have threshold, all squirrel gets +1/+1. Or +2/+2. That's something. Oh, look, double mythic pack. We got the borderless Urza Incubator. Enters the battlefield. When it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type, and then creature of the chosen type costs 2 less to cast. That's really cool. Only one thing I want to talk about is just the as Urza Incubator into the battlefield. That's a really wordy phrase. I think Wizards should change that to an evergreen effect, like an ETB keyword, right? I mean, everyone knows it. They should have it by now. All right, then we have Jor-El. It's kind of blurry, right? Jor-El, Monvale Recluse. Whenever you draw a second card, create a 2/2 cat, and then pay 6 until the end of turn. Creatures you control have base power XX with X number of cards in your hand. Absolutely amazing effect, but mono green commanders, this is kind of not that great. Body Snatcher. Whenever it enters the battlefield, exile it unless you discard a creature card. When it dies, exile it and return it to the return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Amazing effect, right? You can imagine you can use this to reanimate a very good card, but you can even cheat it into the graveyard with its first effect. So yeah, great card all around. Spirit Link, yeah. Nature's Lore. Oh, Nature's Lore. Hey, they reprinted it. I didn't even notice it was in this set. Basically, search your library for a forest, put it into the battlefield. Not even tap, just put it in the battlefield. Great card for a multicolored deck that needs to fetch for like a dual land or a shock land. Mogged, War Marshal, Forest. Undead Gladiator. The Dormar's Caravan. This is a lair. Well, it's an Esper lair. Sun Clasp, Primal Boost, Obsessive Search, Horseshoe Crab, and an Auramancer. Auramancer actually is an amazing card. People kind of overlook it, but, you know, 3 mana to return an enchantment, it's not that bad of an effect for a, you know, small little common creature. Every one of my white decks, I believe, has a Auramancer in there, because white is full of enchantments that are impactful, things like Smothering Tide. Right, people want to kill that, and then, you know, you want an Auramancer to bring it back, but you don't want to go out and pay for $90 on a replenish. All right, Elemental and an Insect. Ooh, look at that, Gemstone Mine. Comes to play with a gem with 3 mine counter on it, and remove a mine counter to, or tap, remove a mine counter to add a mana of any color, and if there are no mining counters, you have to sack Gemstone Mine. So basically, it's a land that adds any mana, or a mana of any color, basically whenever you want, for 3 effects. But if you have Proliferate, infinite effects. That's really cool, but unfortunately, it's not a star foil, so yeah, it's just borderless. All right, then we got Decimate. I don't even know why this card is there. This is nothing. Destroy target artifact, or target creature, target enchantment, target land. So 4 targets for 1 effect is good, but unfortunately, it does have each word is target, not up to 1 target. So you have to choose 4 targets. That's borderless, right? Yeah, Body Snatcher. Again, so we talked about that already. Gamble. Oh, look at that. They said there's only 4 tutors. This is your 5th tutor. This is the red tutor. It still is one. Basically, search your library for a card, and then, you know, discard a card random. Put it in your hand, and then discard a card random. High Tide. I remember this card back in the day. This card is, you know, the bane of so many infinite combos with just Palinchron, right? With this and Palinchron, and if you have 4 islands, you can tap that for 8 mana. Use how many of it to bounce Palinchron back to your hand. Basically, it's infinite on its own. I forgot how it's done, but yeah. Anyways, Flame Tongue Kavu. This is just a Enter the Battlefield 4, yeah. Ornithopter, again, and no one really cares about this. I saw this back in Brothers War already, so yeah, I don't know why this reprinted here. Forest, a good old Order and Chaos. Necro Savant, Vigilant Sentry, Peregrine Drake again, Phyrexian Debaser, I'm debasing it right now, Avian Fisher, oh, a Grape Shot. Hey, I forgot Grape Shot is in this reprint. So this is amazing in Limited. In this set, right? When you draft a Grape Shot, it's got a Storm. It does 1 damage to any target, and if you have a lot of spells, you can kind of try to sling. In limited format, people are not going to expect that, and you play 3 or 4 spells. All of a sudden, this card does 3 or 4 damages that you can target, distribute anywhere. That's cool. All right, that's half the box. All right, so far, I think the box seems pretty cool. We got 4 mythics, and of the 4 mythics, 3 of those are cool. 1 is a nut collector. I don't actually know if this like people who are collecting nut collectors. That is our foil retro foil mythic. Unfortunately, is that I wanted a bird, zombie, squirrel. All right, we got another retro foil. This is a royal assassin, and then this is not mythic though. We'll go over here, and then we got Bird of Paradise. Actually, this is a foil. Bird of Paradise. I did say I wanted the bird. I just wanted a retro version, but it's fine. I'll take every single Birds of Paradise. I remember back in the days when I thought $10 for Birds of Paradise means that Birds of Paradise is very good. It's still very good, but $10 for a card nowadays is not as scary. Arborea, on the other hand, this card creature can't attack a player unless that player casts a spell or a non-token permanent onto the battlefield on their last turn. So, yeah, this is a pretty good card, and it's also a Whirl Enchantment. I think a lot of people don't recognize what Whirl Enchantments are. Basically, you can only have 1 Whirl Enchantment. And you correct me if I'm wrong. You can only have 1 Whirl Enchantment in play. If someone plays a Whirl Enchantment, your Whirl Enchantment gets destroyed. I believe that's how it works. It's not like regular enchantments. There can only be 1. It's like the Highlander. All right, Lotus Bloom. Cool card. Not in this treatment, though. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a counter on Lotus Bloom, and then you can sack Lotus Bloom to add X mana, where X is the number of counter you put on. And then Empty the Warren, foil. It's a cool storm. Ornithopter again, Wild Dog, Mountain, Warren Wing. Wax and Wing. I remember this card back in the days. And then we have Illusion and Reality. I don't actually remember this card at all, but hey, maybe this whole card is an illusion. Twisted Experiment. How do you pronounce that? Sukata? I don't speak whatever language that is. Primal Boost again. Momentary Blink again. And Ichor's Slick again. Momentary Blink is actually really fun to play in Limited, I bet, because when you draft Momentary Blink, you can basically save your big creature from a removal. In Limited, people don't really have a lot of removals. All right, Sapling to a zombie. Grim Lavamancer. I mean, it's a borderless foil, so I'll take it. Denizen of the Deep. This card is terrible. I don't know why it's reprinted. I don't know why it's a rare. I don't know why it even exists. Basically, when it enters the battlefield, return each... I don't know why it's blurry. Return each other creature you control to its owner's hand. 8 mana, 11/11. By itself is already not that good. In blue, who's spending 8 mana to cast a creature spell? All right, and then we have Lieutenant Kurtar. Flying 2, pay 2 to sack it and exile target attacking creature. Might be cool back in the days, but not these days. Mind Slicer, on the other hand, I remember when I first saw this card, I thought it was terrible. When it dies, each player discard their hand. Then, as I learned more about Magic, this card is amazing. If you have less cards than your opponent, this is basically equalizing the field, and in turn giving you card advantage by doing that, right? It doesn't draw you any card, but it takes away your opponent's card advantage. All right, Damping Spheres. This card is cool in a stacks deck. Basically, if a land taps for more than 2 mana, or 2 or more mana, it only asks colorless. And for each spell any player plays that turn, their next spell costs 1 more. So if they're playing 1 spell, the next spell costs 2. They play 2 spells, the next spell costs 3, so on and so forth. It's very good stacksy piece. Recoil. Return target permanent to its owner's hand, then a discard card. Terror. I'm not going to read the comments. Forest. Elvish Spirit Guide, that's notable because it's, I think it's the first reprint of Elvish Spirit Guide, correct me if I'm wrong. Basically, it's a Lotus Petal for green mana. Nantuko Monastery, Solar Blast, pacifism. I remember back in the days, I hate pacifism because we only have cheap cards, and anyone who pacifies my creature means that my creature is now dead, and I can't reanimate it, so it's just there, it's stuck, and I can't do anything with it. I remember that was fun because I was playing a black deck, and I could not kill it because all I had were Terror and Dark Banishing, and they only kill non-black creatures. Rich Top Raptor, Avon Fisher, Dragon Engine. All right, we got 4 more packs. So what do I want to pull in these packs? I want a Force. Now that I didn't get a cool bird, I got an ugly bird. We got a Goblin, and we have Construct. And we have Maze of Ith. Maze of Ith is pretty cool. When I first started playing, I didn't know that lands don't add mana, so I thought this just adds colorless. But apparently, Maze of Ith only taps to remove attacking creatures from combat. They don't add mana unless you have something to give it ability to add mana. So yeah, a little bit of a life lesson. It goes here. And then we have Siege Gang Commander. This card is really cool for Goblin deck back in the days. When it comes to play, create 3 1/1 Goblins, and you can tap 2, sack a Goblin for it to deal 2 damage. So it's constant damage. Sulfuric Vortex. This is people can't gain life, and then it deals 2 damage every upkeep to every player. For every player's upkeep, it deals 2 damage to them. Legacy Weapon. Oh, this is a cool mythic card. This is a cool art too. If it's borderless or some kind of treatment, it'll probably look even better. But I love Legacy Weapon. It's just such a janky, bad card that is so awesome. 7 mana, pay 5. Or pay Woober, basically, to exile 1 permanent. If it would go to graveyard from anywhere, you got to shuffle it back to your library. Urza's ultimate weapon. It's just beautiful. It's got a lot of history to it. That's why I like it. Wild Dog. I like Wild Dog, but I don't know of any histories to that. High Tide. Savannah Lion. Oh, Savannah Lion. There's a history to that for sure. This card even looks like the old border, old print and everything, but it looks too new, right? You gotta crumble it up and make it look like the Savannah Lion back in the days. Swamp, Thieving Magpie. Whenever deal combat damage to an opponent, draw a card. Good card back in the days. Mystic Enforcer, Werebear, Smoldering Crater, Mogwar Marshal, Aromancer again, and then Aqua Mobia. I want to say Amoeba, but I think it says Mobia. I thought it were easy to open now, but this one is not. Struggling with me for a bit. All right, Goblin and Cat. And we got the Retro Foil. Retro Star Foil Gamble. That's cool. This is just a rare. And then, oh, look at this. Vampiric Tutor. Best tutor of the set. I think we got one of every tutor. We got Enlighten. We got Mystical. We got Worldly Tutor. We got Vampiric Tutor, and then we got 2 gambles. Right? We got all the tutors. Vampiric Tutor is the best one because you can search for any card. You only have to pay 2 life. In Commander, that's, what is that, like 2 out of 40. In regular game, 2 out of 20 is 10% of your life. That's only 5%. It's not that painful at all. All right, and then we got Pirate. Is that how you say it? Pirate Zombie. At the beginning of your upkeep, if it's in your graveyard, you pay 3. If you do, you can return it to your hand, and you can sack the zombie to deal 2 damage. It's not a good effect in today's meta, or I wouldn't say meta, in today's power level, but I can see how this back in the day would have been amazing, because it's just infinite sort of effects over and over, and your opponent really can't get rid of without graveyard hate. I don't know why those went over there. These are retro. Here. All right, and then we got Phantom Nishoba. Is that a word? All right, when it enters the battlefield with 7 sunstone counter on it, it has Trample. When it deals damage, you gain life, and if it will be dealt damage, prevent all that damage and remove a +1 counter on it. So, yeah, it's, I remember this card from back in the days, or cards like those from back in the days. Peregrine Drake, Flame Tongue Kavu again, Mind Stone again, and Planks. Oh, Swords of Plowshare. Is that in the set? Wow. Hey, Swords of Plowshare is something that every white deck has a commander. It's just a 1 mana removal. Give your opponent some life. Who cares, right? 1 mana removal is amazing. As reprinted, it's cool for limited. Milken, Sun Clasp, Polluted Mire, Crow Sand Restorer, another Grape Shot, and then a Glintwind Invoker. Now we're down to 2 packs left. We have basically all the good cards except Sylvan Library and Force of Will, which is a lot, to be fair. You know, those are the best cards people want to pull. Elephant and Cat. Oh, hey, Retro Foil Wrath of God. That's something. I always wanted a Wrath of God back when I first started playing. Never pulled it out of the, I think it was 7th edition booster box or 8th edition booster box. I could not pull the Wrath of God for the life of me. Now I have one. I bought some since then, but it's always cool to pull one, you know? Arborea again, this time the borderless. Oh, hey, Sneak Attack. Retro frame, so yeah, it takes me back in the days when Sneak Attack was the #1 deck in Legacy. People sneak attack out Gristlebrand and just win the game. And then they'll sneak attack out Emrakul and just win the game. Sneak Attack's such a crazy card. Where does this go? Retro, there it is. Arcanus Omnipotent again. We already had one of these. Now, no more rares. So we got Dralnu's Crusade. The foiling is pretty cool. All goblin gives +1/+1. That's nice. All goblin are black and are zombies in addition to its creature type. Yep. Mystic Enforcer, Empty the Warren. I don't even know what to say about these cards. I don't know if anyone cares. Mesa Enforcer again. That's cool. Symbiotic Bear, Renew Faith, Lightning Reflexes, Frantic Search, and Fester Goblin. Fester Goblin is cool. When it dies, -1/-1 on target creature. So, and then Frantic Search is cool because you draw 2, discard 2, but you wouldn't have 3 lands, so it's a free loot. All right, last pack. Oh, all hopes of the universe hinges on this one pack right here. I know there's a pull tap. I noticed that there's a pull tap, but I am not doing that. Pull tap exists only to damage your cards. Gobulin. And then Merit Late. Oh, the 2020 Fly Indestructible token. That's cool. Hey, look at that. Foil is it borderless? Yeah, showcase, whatever it's called. Treatment. Sylvan Library. That is the mythic that we want. All right, so no force, but everything else more or less. Chainer, Dementia Master. All Nightmare gets +1/+1. Pay 3 life. Put target creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It becomes a black nightmare. And then when it leaves, you got to exile all nightmares. Hey, if you can make all your creatures, make all your opponent's creatures nightmares, you can just kill all of the creatures by killing this. Pretty sure people have thought of that effect already. Overmaster. Target instant sorcery you cast this turn can't be countered, or the next instant sorcery you cast this turn can't be countered, and then you draw a card. That's a cool card. I mean, basically it's cantrip, and then also it stops a counter spell from happening. That's always nice in almost any meta or any power level. Arborea, again, that's a third Arborea. They really want to give me Arborea. White Mane Lion, Frantic Search, Tormor's Crypt, and a Swamp. And Valduk, Keeper of the Flame. Fire and Ice, the inspiration of Sword of Fire and Ice. And then all of the other swords. But Fire and Ice is what started it all. Vigilant Sentry, Skirk, Prospector, Nightmare Shade, Duress, Break Ascender. People don't care about these anymore. All right, so that is the whole booster box. We did not get a Force of Will, unfortunately. But hey, you know what? I've never pulled a Force of Will from a booster. Ever. I bought Alliance, and I think I got one booster of Double Master. Those are the only times that Force of Will ever showed up, and I never happened to me. But hey, I have Force of Will, so I'm not too sad about that. I'm very happy about all the mythics that I pull. Let's sort this out. We got Urza. We got Urza's Incubator. We got Sylvan Library, Vampiric Tutor, Dark Depth, and Legacy Weapon. Those are the mythics that I'm absolutely happy about. I got a Nut Collector. Hey, anyone want to trade a Nut Collector for a Force of Will? I'm down for that. And then that's all the cool cards that I pull. But this whole set, Dominaria Remastered, is an amazing set. I love all the cards in it. I just don't like the fact that it's premium set. They increased the price, and I believe not financial advice or anything. I believe that the draft booster boxes are what's going to be amazing, because this drafting experience is awesome. playing limited and Dominaria Remastered with all these, crazy Dominaria cards kind of combined is very fun. And you get 36 boosters, so that's 36 chances of getting a Force of Will, or getting a Dark Depth, or a Sylvan Library, right? Those are the really cool cards that you want to pull out of your booster packs, and you have 36 chances to do so. People don't really care about the treatments that much anymore these days. I think if you just want to Force a Will, you can probably pull it from one or two, draft booster boxes, right? And so that's all I got for today. I will open more Dominaria Remastered in the future. I really like this set, and I'm also looking forward to the New Phyrexia 2023. I hope that set is fun. So far, it looks janky. So far, it looks like it's very high cost. And there's just that one green creature that, oh my gosh, it will kill the entire metagame. I bet you that one green creature where if you target it, or anyone targets it, target opponent gets a poison counter, that will kill the whole game. Mark my word. But that's all I got for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.